Let's talk about how to track credit card purchases and payments. Although the balance due on your credit card might traditionally be considered a liability, there are several advantages to treating it as a negative asset, often called a contra asset. The first advantage is that you can track expenditures by vendor. So you'll know how much you spent at the grocery store, the hardware store, the discount store, and so on. The second advantage is that you can reconcile the items charged to your statement. So those items that you have recorded in Procare against the charges that appear on your credit card statement. And the third advantage is that there's no need to make any manual journal entries. Now there's one other good thing to understand about contra assets, and that is that they are the opposite of a typical asset, so that they usually carry a negative balance. So let's say that you began the year owing $100 on your credit card. That would be entered as minus 100. As you make a payment on that, the negative number is decreased. So if we made a $75 payment, the balance we still owed on the card would then be minus 25. Now let's take a look at how to set that up in Procare. Under the configuration menu, we'll go to the system settings and we'll go to accounting management, and then within that, chart of accounts. So we'll double click to open the chart of accounts, and we'll start out by looking at our expenses category. We'll want to have an expense to record any finance charges or fees that we may be charged by the credit card company. And since I don't really care if this was on my Visa or my MasterCard or my American Express, I'm going to have a single account number to record those finance charges. Now, the key thing is setting up the asset accounts. I've created a new category called credit cards, and I've indicated the words Contra Asset in the name of the category just to help me remember that. I'll click the plus sign then to open up the category, and within that I've created 3 new asset accounts, one for each of my credit cards. I have a Visa, a MasterCard, and an American Express. We'll go ahead and exit out of the chart of accounts. Next, we need to treat those asset accounts like bank accounts or checking accounts so that we'll later be able to reconcile them. To do that, we'll double click on bank accounts, and you'll see that I have added my Visa and my MasterCard to the list of bank accounts, but I still have one more to add. So I'll click on this top blank line and I will type in the first couple of numbers of that account, and there it is, the American Express, and I'm going to place a check in this box that says checkbook and click Save. So now I have Visa, MasterCard, and my American Express all added as bank accounts and all marked as a checkbook. We'll exit out of that. And the next thing to look at will be the expenses and ledger category. Here we'll want to take a look at our beginning balances. We'll double click on beginning balances. I've got some already set up, so let's take a look at that. We'll double click here, and I want to go to the edit screen so I can show you what I've done. Under my asset category, I'll expand the credit card section, and here you'll see I have my 3 cards. At the beginning of the year, I still owed $100 on my Visa card, and that is entered, as we talked about earlier, as a negative number, minus 100. I didn't have anything due on my MasterCard or American Express, so those I have left as 0. Let's go ahead and exit. And the last thing to do is to look at our journal types. You will want to have a journal to record any fees or charged by the credit card company. You could use your standard bank fees journal and just lump it all in with that, but I prefer to have a separate journal specifically for credit card fees. And that's all there is to the basic setup for tracking credit cards.